There was a time when the future looked very different. Not because technology was more advanced, but because every new machine felt like a glimpse of tomorrow. Before smartphones placed everything into a single device, our homes were filled with technology that had its own purpose, its own personality, and its own place in everyday life. Today, most of those machines have quietly disappeared. This is the story of the future we left behind. Long before voicemail lived invisibly in the cloud, there was the answering machine. Sitting beside the family telephone, it patiently waited for missed calls. And there was something strangely exciting about coming home to a blinking red light. Someone had called. You would press play and hear the voices of friends, relatives, or unexpected callers filling the room. The messages were usually ordinary, but the experience never felt ordinary. Communication wasn't instant. It waited for you, and somehow that made it feel more meaningful. Then there was the VHS tape. For an entire generation, watching a movie required effort. Families drove to video rental stores and wandered through endless shelves searching for the perfect film. The cover art mattered, the choice mattered, the ritual mattered. Back home, the tape slid into the VCR with a satisfying mechanical click, and everyone knew the rule. Be kind, rewind. Today, thousands of movies are available instantly. But something about that experience has never quite been replaced. Before smartphones placed cameras in every pocket, family memories lived on camcorders. Birthdays, school plays, Christmas mornings, summer holidays. Millions of ordinary moments were captured on tape. The footage was shaky, the quality was imperfect. But nobody was creating content. Nobody was chasing views. People were simply preserving memories. And in doing so, they accidentally preserved an entire world that no longer exists. Some forgotten technologies were surprisingly simple. Take the floppy disk, a small square of plastic that carried school assignments, family documents, and important computer files. By modern standards, its storage capacity was tiny, yet for decades, it was essential. Entire projects traveled inside those fragile little disks. Today, they survive mostly as a symbol. Ironically, millions of people recognize the save icon without ever holding the object it was based on. Perhaps no sound captures a vanished era better than dial-up internet. Connecting to the internet wasn't silent. It announced itself. A strange sequence of chirps, whistles, and static echoed through the house as computers attempted to connect through telephone lines. The internet wasn't always available. It was somewhere you went, a destination rather than a permanent presence. Every connection felt like opening a doorway to a larger world. Another giant of the era was the CRT television. Heavy, bulky, and nearly impossible to move alone, these televisions dominated living rooms for decades. Families gathered around them for cartoons, sporting events, holiday specials, and breaking news. Their curved screens cast a soft glow that became part of everyday life. Modern televisions are objectively better in almost every way. Yet many people still remember falling asleep to the gentle flicker of a CRT in a dark room. Then there was the portable cassette player. For the first time, music could travel with you. Whether walking to school, sitting on a bus, or riding a bicycle through quiet streets, people carried their favorite albums everywhere they went. The experience required patience. You flipped tapes. You rewound songs. You listened to entire albums from beginning to end. Every track felt earned. Every song felt familiar. Many of the technologies we left behind shared one important quality. They slowed us down. They introduced friction. They required patience. And strangely, that friction often made experiences more memorable. Of course, few people genuinely wish to return to slow internet speeds or fragile storage disks. Progress has brought extraordinary convenience. But nostalgia is rarely about technical superiority. It's about experience. What we miss is not the machine itself. It's the feeling that surrounded it. The blinking answering machine, the trip to the video store, the sound of dial-up connecting to the world, the weight of a cassette player in your pocket. The technologies may be gone, but the memories remain. Scattered across attics, thrift stores, family photographs, and fading recollections. They remind us of a world that felt slower, smaller, and perhaps a little more tangible. Because sometimes what we remember most is not the technology itself, but the version of ourselves that existed alongside it. We are reclaiming the beauty of the everyday, spaces, machines, and experiences we left behind. Subscribe to complete the circle.